Welcome to From Lisbon With Love, a podcast about real stories of love, laughter, and life in Lisbon from women who have left it all behind.
The podcast where we share real stories about moving to Lisbon, starting over, and figuring life out along the way.
We talk love, dating, friendships, breakups, healing, growing, all of it.
Basically, the stuff we usually talk about over coffee or vinho.
If you're thinking about moving abroad, already here, or just love honest conversations with heart, you're in the right place.
This is From Lisbon With Love.
Hello and welcome. I am April Betts.
I'm Anna.
And welcome to From Lisbon With Love.
Woo!
Yay!
First episode!
First episode. We're so excited.
Oh my god, finally.
I know. So today's episode is why we chose Lisbon. So, Anna,
Well,
let's talk about it.
yeah.
The idea of Lisbon, the romance, the calling, the soul pool, like what was it for you? Lisbon.
This is always the first question that is in every meeting. When you meet new people, it's always like, why did you choose Lisbon? How long have you been living here? What are you doing here? So I feel like it's a good introduction to start with.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I feel like Lisbon always has had something magical. It was the place that I went on many holidays. I visited Lisbon 9 times before I moved here because
Wow.
I wanted to make sure that I was choosing the right place for me. And also, Lisbon was a place that I went after so many heartbreaks during the pandemic. So I feel like Lisbon is also kind of an escape for me.
You said a lot of heartbreak, so
Yeah.
it was an escape for you. Okay. And then when you came here as an escape, it like fed your soul?
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
kept returning to Lisbon. Also in times that I was feeling good and I didn't have any heartbreaks or things that I needed to kind of get away from.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was a place where I went to also to escape the winter.
Because
Like the
you are
Dutch
from
Netherlands.
the Netherlands.
So it's the Dutch winters really
Yes.
broke me. They hurt me on a personal level.
Yeah.
So I really needed to get out
Yeah.
of that in the winter especially. So, and that's also why I've always visited Lisbon in the spring or in the fall or in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I moved here, it was actually my first summer in Lisbon.
Nice. That's maybe something we should have said in the beginning, where we're from.
True, we forgot.
We forgot. This is our first episode, so bear
Yeah.
with us. So I am from Los Angeles, and Anna.
I'm from Netherlands, from the
Yes.
north, from Groningen. Woo!
Say that again.
Groningen.
There you go.
Can you repeat it? Groningen. Groningen?
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 Kind of.
Groningen? Okay, we'll practice
Works.
later. Okay, so Lisbon was an escape for you and it fed your soul.
Yeah.
Okay. I would have to say for me, coming to Lisbon, it's so funny because I actually didn't even research anything about Lisbon. And I normally research before I go traveling. And for some reason, I just started getting all these like emails like, come visit Lisbon, come visit Lisbon. I'm like, what is Portugal? I was like, okay. I was like, maybe I'll go. Like I saw like a deal to come to Portugal and I was like, maybe I'll go. So then I came and literally when I touched down from the airport and like left, I was like, it was like this feeling. I don't know what it was. Like I'm very like intuitive and sensitive in that way. And it just felt right. And it was just like, it took me by surprise because I wasn't even like expecting anything from Portugal, because I was just like, oh, I'll just show up and see what it's like. And I've always wanted to live in Europe, but I didn't realize that it would end up being Portugal.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of an accident.
It was.
But a good accident.
A good accident.
Yes.
And I don't know, it just felt right. It just had a mixture of like everything that I've ever wanted in a place where I would move abroad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also think you're very lucky here because of the food. Because in many places in Italy, for example, I couldn't live there, to be honest.
Because of the variety?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I think the reason why Anna mentioned Italy is because Italy was originally like the place where I really was probably going to move, and that was like always at the top of my list. But for some reason, every time I went to Italy, I never found a city or a town that just felt like home. Like it felt like I'm supposed to be there, which was why when I came to Lisbon, I was like, this is so strange. Like, why do I feel like this is home? It was just like, I was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it happens. I think it was the same for me. It was always a place that I kept returning to, and that felt like home from the first time.
Yeah.
And also I've been here for 2 months, and I've stayed here for longer periods of time to see if it was some place that I wanted to move in the future. But at that time I was like moving places a lot within Lisbon, and then I got like so overwhelmed that I was thinking that Lisbon was not the place for me. So I kind of attached that experience to the place. But then later I figured it's just not my way of life to move around, to travel around. I think for me it works better to stay in one place as kind of a home base.
So wait, were you saying that you were traveling from country to country?
No, it was more like
in Lisbon.
Yeah, just in Lisbon, like in the city, like moving Airbnbs and then renting like temporary accommodation. So it was like going to the city a lot, and that didn't work. So, but then I thought it was just Lisbon that didn't work for me, and then later I figured it was just all the movement that got me super distracted and overwhelmed.
Okay. And was that like the first few times that you came, or like when did you like really realize that like this was Lisbon was the place?
I think that was later, because I was here in 2021 for 2 months, and then I was like, okay, let's get this idea out of my head, because clearly it's not working for me. And then I went back I think I stopped going to Lisbon for 2 years. That was a long time for me, but I was like, okay, I've done it. I'm over it. It's okay. And then I went back after another heartbreak in 2023, and I was living my life here, and I was like, oh my God, maybe this is the moment.
Lisbon's the heartbreak city.
Yes.
If you need to get over any heartbreak, come to Lisbon.
There's also so many spiritual people here.
Yes.
It's insane.
I think that's another reason that it was like calling me, because it's like my soul could like feel like this is where I'm supposed to be. And it was so crazy. Like I had only come to Lisbon once, and I was like,
that's
okay,
insane.
And I was like, okay, this is it. So I was like, as soon as I went home, I was like, okay, I got to figure out how to get here and how to move here and figure out the whole thing. I don't know.
That's insane. So that must have been a super strong feeling, like from the start.
And I'm very, I would say impulsive, but I still do like my research and stuff about it, because by the time I actually moved here, it was 2 years later. But I think also the fact that I had traveled the world previously, and I had traveled through Europe, like pretty much all the countries except for like maybe 3 or 4, and the feeling that I knew that I always wanted to live in Europe,
right? And
then the feeling that I had here combined with me always wanting to live in Europe, I was like, all right,
this
done.
is it. Yeah.
Done. Okay, cool. So okay.
And also I forgot to mention that I got an ad this morning about astrocartography. Remember we did that?
Oh
the thingy where you can fill in your date of birth and your city that you were born and all this information, the time that you were born, and then you get this whole map with lines. And then my line for success and wealth and happiness and adventure was going right through Lisbon.
And here we are, guys. This is our podcast. So you're seeing it first. That is
insane.
amazing. So wait, did you do the, how do you call it?
Astrocartography or
Astrocartography?
Yeah.
Did you do that before you moved?
No, I did it actually this winter when I was already here.
Okay.
I did it with a friend, with Kata. And then I was asking my mom, like, what time I was born, and then I filled it in. And then I was like, whoa, this line is like super close to Lisbon, but not like in Lisbon. So I asked my mom and I said, was it really that time or can you be more specific? And then she was more specific. So it was like 5 minutes time difference. And then the line was like in Lisbon.
Oh, shit. That's amazing.
I know, right?
Wow. That's so cool.
It's written in the stars.
It is.
From the time that I was born, apparently.
Yeah.
So
I mean, everything is written in the stars.
True. Your blueprint, right? So.
Your blueprint.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I really like that. That's so cool.
But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
took me 9 visits and heartbreaks and a lot of stuff to move. So to eventually get
9
here.
visits.
Yeah.
And how
It was
many
a lot
years?
of money. I think the first one was in 2013. And I think I had a stop to 2018. And then I think from 2018, and it's been almost every year. Sometimes even 3 times a year. So it really depended on that year. But and with COVID, yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. So it definitely, it was a conscious choice for you. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a conscious choice, I would say, for both of us, because it's like we both knew and we took action. Some people, they may feel it or may want to, but unfortunately a lot of people don't take action. And I feel like maybe that's kind of how we probably connected too, because we can sense that we like both take action on things.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then for me, it took like super long to realize that it was the right decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's okay.
Yeah. So many distractions in life. So
Yes. I think for me, it just happened at the right time
mm-hmm.
in my life. I'm a lot older than you, so it's.
But you will not say that about you.
What?
that you're a lot older than me.
I won't say it.
No, I mean people wouldn't say that.
Oh, people wouldn't say no.
By the look of.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I know. But I was already, I think, at a point where I was just like I was ready for something new, something different. Right. And it just lined up right. Yeah. So, okay. So, what, did you leave behind anything? What did you leave behind? Like, did you leave behind, your job or?
Well, I moved my job with me because I'm a web designer. I design web shops in WordPress and I'm a blogger. So I was like, okay, I can easily do that here. So that's also one of the reasons that I was like, okay, there's literally nothing holding me back to move. So like when it comes to a job, it was kind of easy. What was the question?
What you left behind.
Yeah, I think what most people leave behind is just like your safe place and friends and family. And because if you're there, I mean, before I moved, I've lived there all my life in Groningen. So it's been almost 30 years of my life. So in that 30 years, you build like a whole life. So it's like you need to start over with everything. Well, for me, I didn't have to start over with my job, luckily. But I mean, all the other things that are also really important. It was kind of like a whole shift. So
Yeah. I would say for me, what I left behind, I mean, technically I left behind my business, but
Kind of.
I have someone running it for me. Um, so, and then of course, like you mentioned, you leave behind your friends, your family. But I feel like nowadays it's like flights are like so, I mean, you can find really good deals for flights. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just, everyone's just a flight away. But I noticed for me and my family, they're less apprehensive to fly across the pond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I get it though because I don't
Yeah.
like flying.
Yeah.
So.
So it's I personally don't think it's that long of a flight, but for people who are afraid of flying,
Mm.
it is a long flight. So I mean, I haven't been here a year yet, so but I've gone back, and I'm just slowly um, persuading my family to hop on a plane and come over. So
Ah!
hopefully, eventually, they will come. I think they will. They
Yeah.
just have to, you know.
Yeah. Takes time to
Yeah.
adjust.
Yeah.
Also, especially for people that don't like to fly or they don't fly normally. It's like,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
Yeah.
Also for my parents, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay. So we kind of spoke about like what brought us here. Specifically for me, it was the feeling. For you, it was just
Mm,
realizing that this was your home.
yeah, it
And
was like multiple things, I would say. Like at first, maybe it was kind of an escape, but
mhm.
also I found a lot of peace here, and that was also what I was
Mm,
looking for.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is very peaceful here, I would
Mm-hmm.
say.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if it's just the culture or just how everyday life works here, but I can totally sense the difference from the States. It just seems more like relaxed
Mm-hmm.
and chill. Like I can even see the difference like with the dogs in the neighborhood because
Mm-hmm.
I have a dog. She's 11 years old, and in the States, I noticed she was more apprehensive and slightly like on guard with a lot of the dogs in the neighborhood. Whereas here, it's like every dog is just like, oh, we're friends.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like apprehensive.
Right.
And I don't know if it's just the energy of the owners in the sense of like maybe the owners are more stressed out in the States as opposed to here in Lisbon.
Mm.
So it reflects on the dog because the dog does take on the energy of the owner.
Right. Or the environment, maybe.
Yeah, and the environment too.
Yeah.
So that's just my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know 100%, but that's just my opinion.
True. Yeah, but it's a peaceful place, and also it's a good place to heal, I feel.
Yeah,
A lot of people are healing here.
that is true.
I did also.
Dude. Okay, let's get into that. So, okay, coming here. So I came here alone. You came here alone. And I came here not knowing anybody. You came here with not knowing anybody.
Yeah.
And the whole process of just like, I think for me, like coming from constantly working with my business and like physically doing everything myself to coming here and like not having anything to do physically.
That's insane.
Yeah, it took a huge like it was an adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
It still is a little bit of an adjustment for me because now I'm just like, okay, what do I do?
Now she can edit the podcast, so
Now I'm gonna be editing
now she's gonna
podcasts.
work super hard.
I know. But it actually like worked out for the best because it allowed me to really focus on myself and like going within and then really finding out what truly makes me happy.
Right.
And I've been doing a lot of like self-healing work and just sometimes just sitting and just looking out the window and just like just that simple thing of just like not having anything to do.
Yes.
It's just so like peaceful.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get it.
Yeah.
When I first moved, it was in the like last summer, and I was every day, like on my balcony, like in the evening, eating, just watching like the area. And I was like, why are these people inside watching TV? Like, I was like, I would never do that. Now that I moved there, well, guess what I'm doing now sometimes, but it's still like, still like to be on the balcony and just observe and enjoy myself.
There are still times where I wake up every morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, I live in Europe. I live in Portugal. Like, I live in Lisbon. And then I literally wake up every morning and I just like I'm like, I am so grateful to live here. I'm like so grateful that I can like have this like amazing apartment in this beautiful city and I don't know, and have amazing, like I've met so many amazing people.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. Like I like moving here, I met people right away, which is not probably normal for most people who move to a whole other country.
I don't know. I feel like in Lisbon, I mean, if I compare it to my hometown where I grew up, I would never meet people like outside of my bubble. But I feel like here, because there's so many foreigners, it's kind of easy because people are more open. They're more open-minded. So it's like if you go on to an event, and sometimes not even go to an event, you can just meet people like randomly.
Yeah. Well, I met a friend randomly at the park.
Yeah.
With Bella, and like she's a really good friend, and she introduced me to some of her friends, and then like we've gotten close, and I introduced you to them.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's just, I don't know. It's just been amazing here.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah. Confirm that Lisbon was right for you? Was there one specific thing? Or was it just a mixture of a lot of different things?
So you mean just before I moved?
Yeah, just before you moved.
No, I don't know if there was like a specific moment, but I guess like the last time that I visit, or maybe the last time before the last time, how do you say that? The one
Before?
Yeah, like not the last time that I visit, but the one
previous.
Yeah, the previous one.
Okay, yeah.
Before the last one.
Yeah.
Let's say.
For some reason, this happens to me when I'm talking. If I'm like in a foreign country or someone who doesn't speak English is not their first language, people always ask me how to say it in English, and I always forget. Yeah, and I'm like, my mind just goes blank. Yeah, every single time, and I'm like,
Well, my mind went blank as well, like total blackout, because it was not the last time, but the previous before the last. I don't know. Let's say. Then I was here on a visit, and I met a guy on Tinder, and I went with him the whole week and seeing his colleagues, and we went to a party and stuff. And that was the moment that I realized, like, life is not super different here. It's kind of easy to build a life. I mean, you can just meet people everywhere. Because for me, it was like the people thing that was holding me back for a long time. Because I was like, okay, I really love my bubble, my friends, everybody that I surrounded, like everybody that's already around me, and I didn't want to kind of lose them in a way. But that was in that moment I realized, like, okay, I can just build a life here as well. It's not that crazy. So
yeah, and tell me if I'm wrong, but is it true, like in the Netherlands, people kind of stay with their group from like childhood, and you don't really stray outside to make like new friends?
Yeah, it is, because I didn't have any international friends. It was just like people that I knew from high school, but also people that I met through friends of friends. So you kind of collect your own group after a while, or sometimes you lose someone and then you meet another friend of that friend, and then you really connect. So it's kind of like
it's all
varies, but it's like, yeah, it's not really like someone that's super random out of your bubble. So yeah, so that was something that I
was holding you back for a little bit.
Yeah, because it's not really common for Dutch people, but also not for me, to be like out of your social bubble, and it's also something that at first I didn't want that, because I was like, oof, too much work, like where I'm gonna start. I don't want to start over, because I wasn't like unsatisfied with my life, like when it came to like a social
Yeah.
thing. So it was more like I want to switch things up, but I didn't want to switch up the people at first. So that was
Yeah.
like, for a long time I was like, oof, we're not gonna move, we're not gonna do
Mhm.
this, because I just love my circle.
Yeah, that can be a lot that might hold people back, is like literally having to start all over with like friends and everything like that. And then it could stop someone because they're like, oh, I'm not going to have any friends. I'm going to be lonely and blah, 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 blah. But it's like if you just put yourself out there,
You have to,
yeah, you have to.
because I was lonely as fuck when I first moved. I was like, I don't know, like,
How long did it take you to meet people?
I think I had my first like social interaction in 3 weeks.
Okay.
But that was with the guy from the coffee bar in my street,
Okay.
because I literally had no friends. I didn't have anyone to talk to, and he was always like super nice.
Uh-huh.
So then I was sending him a message if he wanted to go for a drink, just like in a normal way, not
Yeah.
like a date or something. But it was
Yeah.
like, he's fun, and he's the only person I know. So
Yeah.
and then we went to Alex Factory
Oh,
to have a
nice.
drink. Super funny.
Wait, is this the guy that walks by, you walk by all the time and he talks to you? Your
Which
coffee
guy?
shop? The one you told me about the other day? Or
No.
something different? Was that an older guy?
Which older guy?
The one that knows everybody in the neighborhood that's like spying on everybody?
I don't know, but no, this was like last year, so there were other people working there.
Oh,
So it was another
okay.
guy. He doesn't work there anymore.
Oh,
So then I was kind of sad, because I felt like he was my only friend.
Oh.
But now there's other people working that are super nice. So it's
Yeah.
like, you know. And I have friends, so I don't care about the coffee bar anymore. But it was just
At that
nice
time,
at first.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. Is actually going to be our next episode, is talk about friendship and
True.
how to make friends moving abroad.
We
And
don't
we'll-
need to spoil
yeah,
everything.
we're not going to spoil it now, but we're going to dive into that for the next episode. Let's see. How did Lisbon change you?
Ooh, that's a deep one.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that I feel more at peace, because before I was always like rushing, like every day didn't have enough hours. And I was always like striving for more, and I don't know. I feel like now that I moved here, well, it took me a long time to adjust to like the Portuguese life and lifestyle, but I feel like now it's kind of like, I don't know, I lost that part of me, and also I feel like I'm more patient, because I was very impatient, and I was not only like that was not only tiring for people around me, but also for myself.
So what specifically with the Lisbon lifestyle that you had to adjust to?
Because I feel like it has a lot to do with, for me as a Dutchie, it has a lot to do with the weather. And I feel like because it's mostly, especially in summer, it's super hot. So I feel like people in general are more like tranquilo. And I mean, it's too hot to rush yourself. So
I love it how you just slipped in that little Portuguese, Spanish tranquilo.
But I don't know how to say it in English. So sometimes I use random words.
That's so funny. I love it. Well, I would say, how did Lisbon change
Yeah.
me? I feel like it changed me in the sense of like it made me dig more deeply into myself and learn more about myself with all of this extra time that I have now.
Right.
Yeah, and I love it. Changed me. I'm like, see, is there any other like specific things?
I think there's more than what we're now describing. But I feel like what really stood out for me is like that I don't feel pressured by myself anymore. Well, that's another topic, but
Yeah. I can piggyback on that in the sense of like in the States it's more of like, you know, you constantly have to be doing something.
right,
You
that's what I
constantly have to be doing
mean.
something. And then I realize here, like, because I'm not doing anything, I feel like I'm supposed to be doing something.
I know.
It's like a, I don't know, like a,
Vicious cycle?
yeah, I
Or
don't know, but it's like weird. And it's like, because I'm not doing anything, I'm like, I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm like, okay, well,
right.
if I'm not doing anything, then like, I don't know, what do I do? I don't know.
Right? Because it's so normal in our culture to be
Yeah.
like productive 24/7.
Yeah.
And like my to-do list was always like this, just
Mhm.
never ending.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I came like at a point in Lisbon that I was like, you know, like maybe it also has to do something with aging, like getting older, but I felt like, okay, like I'm finishing this to-do list. Tomorrow there's another to-do list. Like I don't want to live my life like that because
Doing to-do lists.
you're always like searching for something more, and when you got that thing there's another goal on the list. So it's like, what are you doing? It's like
Yeah.
the cycle will never end. So it's like,
It's like the hamster wheel. You're constantly on the
yes,
hamster wheel, and eventually you have to be like, okay, I'm gonna get off.
exactly. Have you found what you were looking for?
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really did, because I wanted a change. I wanted something new. And what I loved about Lisbon was that it had all the aspects for me that were in LA, because I loved LA. I really enjoyed living there, but I had been there for 22 years and everything just started to seem redundant to me. And then I felt like there was a calling like outside of Los Angeles. It was just like I didn't want to I didn't really want to be there anymore. And I always knew that I wanted to live and retire abroad. I honestly didn't think I was going to move to Lisbon when I moved. I thought it might have been maybe later, but it was just like more like, especially after when I came to visit, I was just like, I want to, and I was just like over LA. And I knew that there was nowhere else in the States that I wanted to live. I'm originally from Missouri. My family is still there, but I moved to Los Angeles after I graduated college, and I'd been there for 22 years, and I was just like, I need something new. I need something different. And I knew Europe was my next stop. It was just a matter of where.
Yeah.
So what was the original question?
Have you found what you were looking for?
Yes, I did.
Check. To-do list.
Did you find what you were looking for? What were you looking for?
At first, that's also what I wrote in my journal, like of the move. So I still have that at home. Sometimes I read in it, and it's super funny because I was looking for adventure, but also peace. So it's like,
yeah,
girl,
you can have both.
I know, but then back then, like the intention before I moved was to be more like a social butterfly and la la la, going to all these events. And that's what I did at first. But then after a while, I got super exhausted and I was like, okay, I prefer my peace over like all the other things that are also super important, especially in a new place where you don't know anybody. But I think just finding peace was like the best thing that I could do.
Yeah.
And I think I got it.
I
now.
feel like when I met you, you were like at your peaceful state, because you were just like, I'm chill. Like I'm not drinking. I'm not really going out. And we were like, when we met, like we went hiking and we were just like, it was like very chill. That's the vibe that I got when I first met you.
That's interesting because that was even before like the winter months that I got like super depressed. And I was also in that time kind of like disconnecting myself from the people here. But I think maybe it had to do something with the winter other than me. So I feel like from at first when I moved here, it was always been like super chill, and I prioritized like peace over anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So
Can I ask you what specifically in the winter that made you like be depressed or in that state? Do you know specifically what it was?
I think it was a combination of things, because I realized that in Netherlands I always had a winter depression, and I thought it was because of the lack of sun, like the temperature, like literally. But when I moved here and it was also dark at 5 p.m., I realized maybe it was the light.
Mm-hmm.
So just like the dark evenings, the super long evenings that you're starting to overthink. And also it was the first December ever without my family and my friends. And I stayed here for Christmas and New Year's Eve, like super ambitious. The first time that I ever moved abroad, and I just stayed even during the holidays. And my house was like super cold, and I got sick and I got an allergic reaction, and I was kind of like stuck in the house for weeks. That didn't really help, because then I was even more overthinking, and also I think I needed to process a lot of my breakups still, because also because that was like my last year of my 20s, so you have like a lot to there's a lot going on.
Yeah,
I feel
it was a lot of different things.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think so. It was just a combination of things.
Yeah. When I moved here in November of 2024.
Did you move in November?
Mm-hmm. I
No,
did.
not October. November.
November.
Oh.
November 5th.
Right before the winter, girl.
I know. And I knew if I enjoyed Lisbon during the winter that I knew this was the place. And the winter, it started off pretty good, and then then all of a sudden we had all this rain, and then the sun would set at like 4:30.
Yeah.
So it was like a little depressing in that sense, with the sun going down and then all the rain, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, if you come from Netherlands, it's not even real winter here. So of course I was like really aware of that. But I think just maybe the weeks that it was super dark was maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So that was like, when it comes to the light, that was like the worst part. And I think when we had all these storms and thunder and like, that was really like unusual for Lisbon. That's what everybody told me.
Yeah.
So I feel like after we survived this winter here, we're good now.
I know, we're totally good, because it's like everyone was like, this is not normal.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh really? Everyone was like, this is all we know.
Yeah.
So we were just like, okay, we're just going with the flow. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, there were times there was just like, come on, sun. Come on, rain.
Yeah, but
I still enjoyed it.
For me, it's kind of normal. I mean, in Netherlands, sometimes we don't have any ray of sunlight for weeks. Sometimes maybe even a month.
Wow.
So I'm really like used to that feeling. But I was just hoping to not get any sign of a winter depression, like not any sign.
Yeah.
But I got it like a little bit. But
it was a mixture of a bunch of different things all at the same time. Yeah, I'm sure if maybe all those things happened when it was sunny till like 10 o'clock at night, then you probably maybe not have been so.
I know.
Like, let's go to the park. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go to a kiosk for happy hour.
Ooh, I love happy hour.
I know. Okay. Let's see. Is there anything that we want to dive into for this episode? What would you say to someone feeling the call to make a big life change?
That's a hard thing to say, because I feel like there's so many different people, and people that would say to me like, just quit your job, travel the world, do whatever you want. Like, that's not the type of person I am, because I really like my security, my stability. So I feel like the best thing I would say is to find like a way to make it work for you. Because before I moved, I was also super unsure about if this was the right thing for me. So for me, it's took a lot of time and a lot of research, and I went back to Lisbon like every time to explore new places, just to make sure that I was making the right decision. So I think, yeah, it has a lot to do with who you are as a person and what you're looking for. But there's always gonna be like this kind of scared feeling. I mean, even after 9 times of visiting Lisbon, I was still like scared. But yeah, that's the part that will always stay, and no matter what. But you have to get through it.
Yeah. I would say just do it.
Ah! I know, but that's super hard for
I know
people that
it
are.
is very hard for some.
Yes.
I mean, it's even hard for me, and I'm such the type of person of like, I'll just do it and figure it out along the way. But I was very terrified too when I moved here, because I don't know, it felt easy like doing all the steps like prior to, but then when it came to do it, to like get on the plane and like come, and I was just like, oh my gosh, I was like, what am I doing?
I know, right? You will never be ready for that moment.
No, you just have to literally do it, because once you do it, then you're like, oh, just how they always say, like with fear in general, you just have to face it, and once you face it, you realize it's not that big of a deal.
Right.
But anybody who's facing a big life change, I would say, if you want to go about it in a, I guess, practical way, like if you want to make the change, but like just make sure that you have all of your ducks in a row and have it set up to where you're more likely to succeed as opposed to fail by making that change. And even if you do technically fail, you're not really failing, because you going through those steps is you learning a lesson in some way, shape, or form. What that lesson is, you don't know until you go through it.
Yeah, and you can always go back.
You can always go back. Yeah.
We're free to go.
I think regret is the worst thing to live with, as opposed to like actually like doing something. Because I would hate to like regret not doing something, because it's like you can't go back.
No. You're right.
No regret, just do it.
Yeah.
But just like, have your steps, set up for success.
Yeah, because it's not an easy decision.
It's not an easy decision. It's not at all.
No.
But you have to ask yourself, like, go in your heart and ask yourself, is this going to make me happy?
Yeah.
And if the answer to that question is yes, then you have to do it, because otherwise you're doing yourself a disservice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So. All right. Let's see. Do we have any tips or truths of moving to Lisbon, would you say?
Yeah, I think the tips we already shared, like just prepare yourself, do your research, because I feel like that's super important, because sometimes I also hear stories from people that didn't do it, and they sometimes have a really tough time like figuring things out when they're already here with no place to sleep or whatever. That's just not my kind of style, so I would not recommend that.
No.
But yeah, I would say like just visit the place like multiple times if you get the chance, and then also visit different areas of the city that you wanna. Or are we talking about Lisbon specifically?
No, it could be anything. Moving abroad, or let's see. Well, maybe more about moving to Lisbon. Like any tips or truths about moving to Lisbon?
Yeah, it depends where you're from also, because I feel like if you're European, it's super easy. It's literally super easy. I never expected it to be so easy. It's super easy to go here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you don't have any reason to not do it if you want to do it.
I would say, coming from the States, you have a lot more things that you have to do. So it kind of forces you to get your ducks in the row, because all of the steps that you have to take to get here is a lot.
Yeah.
So I would say, any tips? Do your research. Start to learn the language of whatever. If you are deciding to go to any other country, start practicing the language. Luckily here in Lisbon, like you can get away with speaking English a lot, but I personally, now that I've moved here, I want to speak the language just out of respect for the people and the culture and just myself. Like, I want to know what everybody's talking about. I don't want to be left out of the loop.
I want to join the convo.
Yeah, so
I know.
and yeah, like you said something really good. Just come and visit, and then if you have to visit multiple times to see if that's something that you really want, then do it. And then if you're visiting to want to move, then you have to stay at least a month.
Mm-hmm.
To, okay, I didn't do this, but I'm different in the sense of like when I know something, like my intuition's on point,
Yeah.
and when I know, I know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if let's say you're not 100% sure, or you're scared, or you're not as adventurous as me, come for a month, see what it's like actually living here,
Yeah.
because you'll get a better sense of it. Because when you're here on vacation, you're like, okay, I gotta go see this, I gotta go see that.
Yeah, but also on holiday, I feel like making a decision to move after a holiday is not a good thing, because at the end of the day, it's not on holiday. You literally move your life here. So it's like your responsibilities move with you, like your problems move with you, everything moves with you. So yeah, it's super different. And I also feel like what's really helped me is going to Lisbon in different seasons to see if I still like it, because a lot of people here complain about the winter because the houses are super old and sometimes moldy, and there's a lot of like rain sometimes, so that also damages the houses. So when I knew about that, I was just making sure when I was looking for apartments that it was like a renovated place, or at least like kind of a new place, because I didn't want to live in like a shitty cold ass apartment because that's what most people do here.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, because a lot of foreigners don't know about.
Well, I
all these
actually
things.
knew about how the apartments are a lot colder, and I did experience that this winter.
Right.
The apartment I'm in now, it is updated, but it's in an older building, so it still does get cold. And it can get really cold.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I had the heater on, I had like slippers, and I had sweatshirts and t-shirts and
Scarves.
And then I would walk outside and I'm like, it's not that cold.
I know.
But yeah. And I'm like, okay, now I get it.
Yeah.
But there's one thing about being told, and it's another thing about actually experiencing it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't look that bad when someone says to you, you're like, oh, whatever, I'm from Netherlands, I'm used to being cold. But then in Netherlands, you have a heater. And here you don't have like, well, you have these small electric ones, but you don't have central heating.
Yeah.
So if you're used to, like, when I was like cold in Netherlands, I would just like put the heater up. But now I was like, okay, what are we gonna do now? Let's go for a walk. To heat myself up.
Let's do some yoga.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Is there anything else that we wanted to discuss before we close it out? Any last remarks? Okay, if I could sum up why I'm here in one word, it would be peace.
Fuck, I wanted to choose that one.
You can choose it too.
Okay.
It's okay.
I was thinking, like, do I know another word? No. I think, yeah.
I can, okay, I'll give you peace and I'll take joy.
Ooh. But I think for me, peace equals joy. So
It
that's
does. Yeah.
beautiful.
Yay. Yay.
Yay.
All right, guys. So this was our first episode. We are truly excited to start this new journey with this podcast. We are learning along the way, and we are just having so much fun with it. And I hope that you guys enjoy what we are talking about and what we will be talking about and all of our different experiences here. It's going to be a mixture of everything.
Yeah.
Everything. We're going to have some guests. It's going to be so much fun. We might switch it up and like go to the park and randomly talk to some people, but we'll see what happens. But thank you. And from Lisbon with love. Ciao, ciao.
Thanks for spending this time with us.
And for listening to our stories, our laughs, and a few of our growing pains.
If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs a little Lisbon love in their life.
And don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. It helps more hearts find our little corner of the world. From all of us,
From Lisbon with Love.